Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Introverted Leadership Podcast. You know that saying, what doesn't break you makes you stronger? After the last few months, I can honestly say I've tested that theory. The past weeks have been a blur, deadlines approaching, milestones stacking up, messages coming in faster than I could process them. Is this done yet? When can it be done? This is critical. Everything is waiting on it. What's the ETA? Can you send the latest status? I'm going to escalate this. Should I escalate this? Can we jump on a call in an hour to discuss? If you've led a high-pressure project, you probably recognize this rhythm. At some point, day after day, I realized something uncomfortable but important. I was spending more time responding to urgency than actually doing the work that would move things forward. Not because I didn't care, not because the work wasn't important, but because urgency had taken over the environment. After surviving a stretch like that, one reflection stood out more clearly than anything else. Clarity and composure became my survival toolkit. Not working harder, not responding faster, not escalating louder. Clarity. Because in environments dominated by urgency, the real leadership challenge isn't speed, it's thinking clearly under pressure. Here's what I've come to understand. In today's fast-moving workplace, pressure rarely comes from how difficult the work actually is. It comes from time compression. I need it now. We can't wait. This is blocking everything. Urgency becomes the default language, and when urgency takes over, predictable patterns follow. More follow-ups, more reminders about how critical something is, escalations before alignment, more people pulled into the conversation, more meetings, more noise. The intention is usually good. People want progress, they want results. But urgency starts replacing leadership. Instead of clarity, we get pressure. Instead of alignment, we get volume. Instead of momentum, we get chaos. And chaos is expensive. From what I've observed, urgency tends to escalate for two main reasons. First, self-protection. People worry about how they'll look if something slips. Creating urgency feels like control. Second, limited leadership tools. Many professionals, especially after years of hybrid and remote work, haven't been equipped with ways to influence without authority. So they default to what feels visible. Push harder, ask louder, escalate faster, add more stakeholders. The goal is still delivery. But the method creates chaos, and chaos doesn't accelerate results. It clouds them. This is where the leadership style I call introverted leadership really shows its strength. And just to be clear, this isn't about being an introvert. Introverted leadership is reflective leadership. It's the ability to slow the thinking so execution can move faster. It prioritizes clarity over noise, intent over reaction, composure over chaos. In moments of pressure, this leadership style asks different questions. What is the real deadline? What actually unblocks progress? Who truly needs to be involved? What decision matters most right now? It doesn't eliminate urgency. It contains it. And that containment is what allows teams to move forward instead of spinning. Over time, here are a few practices that have helped me, and many leaders I work with, turn pressure into progress. First, separate real deadlines from emotional urgency. Not everything labeled critical actually is. Clarifying that distinction immediately lowers the temperature. Second, slow the conversation to speed up execution. 5 minutes of alignment often saves hours of rework, escalation, and stress. Third, respond with structure instead of emotion. Clear next steps, clear ownership, and clear timelines reduce panic far more effectively than reassurance ever will. Fourth, use influence, not volume. Anchor conversations in shared goals and outcomes, not fear or noise. And finally, protect your composure intentionally. Calm leadership isn't passive, it's strategic. Here's the biggest lesson I've taken away from this season. Urgency isn't the enemy. Pressure can create focus, momentum, and motivation. But unmanaged urgency creates chaos, and chaos blocks clarity. Calm is not a personality trait. It's a leadership capability. And leaders who can think clearly, communicate calmly, and prioritize wisely under pressure are the ones who deliver when it matters most. If you want to understand your unique leadership style, I've created a free 3-minute leadership assessment on my website. You can visit introvertedleadershipwithivy.com and take the assessment to get clarity on how you naturally lead and what environments you thrive in. You'll also find more leadership tools, frameworks, and resources there. And if you want ongoing, scenario-based insights, be sure to subscribe to the Introverted Leadership newsletter or follow me on YouTube for the podcast and short introverted leadership moments you can apply right away. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, lead quietly but confidently.